Oh, well, look who just dropped in. Hello, folks. You're back for another episode. I guess that means you're back for more, and maybe you've been wanting more. We'll see. The gentleman you see before me,
I'm Dr. Marc.
I'm Elmer, and we are...
Marc and Elmer's PSI Piano Scene Investigations.
Yes, and today's episode is going to, hopefully it'll be an exciting one. If you like our show, if you enjoy our company and our conversations, please go down below the video and like, comment, and subscribe, please. And don't forget to visit us on our YouTube channel for any further discussions or questions or comments, maybe. Now, if you're born today, a very special day today. Ben Weber, an American composer, was born today in 1969. Passed away born 1916, died in 1979. Sorry about that, folks. So, interestingly enough, his information is interesting. He's self-taught composer. He's a self-taught composer, and he is the first American to adopt the 12-tone technique started by Schoenberg.
Oh.
So, apparently so. I've never actually sat down and listened to his work, but I'll definitely try to look for sometime. Apparently, Earl Wild had taken quite a liking to him as far as work. They were, from the time they met, they had some mutual respect for each other.
Oh.
Also born today, boy, we need a drum roll for this one. Leon Fleischer was born today.
Yeah.
He was born today in 1928, died in 2020.
Wow.
A very special pianist. Got to record the Beethoven Concerti and the Brahms Concerti with the Cleveland Symphony. George Sell. Mm-hmm. Yes, so a mighty fine pianist. And I think
there's a story I believe I remember about him.
Yeah.
He was students. Was it with Willie Capel?
Perhaps.
He played the orchestra for. It was a really famous American pianist, both of them.
Yeah.
But they were young, they were like grad school kids or something like that. And Fleischer was playing the orchestral reduction.
Yeah.
And the piano faculty. Well, I think it could have been Willie Capel or somebody playing the solo, but still, people said that was the only time they'd ever heard where the second piano really sounded. I think it was a Brahms concerto.
Yeah.
Sounded like the orchestra.
And
that they noted that it's incredible playing, the unimportant piano part.
Yeah.
But that was Fleischer. It was an astonishing insight in mind.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Music.
And I didn't know this. He
Beautiful
studied with
shape.
Schnabel.
Yeah.
One of the few that studied with Schnabel. He was just a kid. But anyways, that's what we have for you today.
Wow.
And before we continue on, you know what this is. Corey piano polish and your lemon oil. Please remember to take care of your pianos. Take care of your piano will take care of you.
If you need to set your hair a little bit too, that can come in handy.
Oh, I don't know. I've never tried it. I don't know. Natural lemon oil?
Can you cook your fried rice and that stuff?
I don't know.
No, say
I've never
no.
tried it.
No.
No. Oh, yeah. No.
It's
don't.
not edible.
Yeah, don't try it, folks.
Not that kind of lemon oil.
Yeah, I mean, it's lemon oil. It's, I don't know. I would not try that. So, today we have a great program for you today. We interrupt this program to bring you urgent news.
Uh-oh, what?
Okay, folks, these just coming in. MIT students are destroying a piano as part of a tradition dating back to 1972. The Baker House in Massachusetts apparently had one too many pianos and they wanted to get rid of one. So they did the most natural thing kids that age would do. They took one of the pianos at the top of a building and tossed it over just to watch it go.
It was an upright, right?
Yeah, it was an upright.
Yeah.
So that's basically what it was. So anyways, if you want to go see it, it's on YouTube. It's a black and white film footage. The title is The First Baker House Piano Drop at MIT, 1972. It is, it's been uploaded by Talking Dog Productions.
I just had a thought about this.
You did?
Given the time,
Yeah.
late 1960s and early 70s was a time when John Cage it actually started with the group at Black Mountain.
Okay.
With like Buckminster Fuller and all those people like that. But they were called happenings. And a happening was an intentional event which was not planned. But that then things would happen at that. And so there were artists there, musicians or dancers or, I don't know, construction workers or whatever. You'd do these things and it would be an event.
Wow.
And I have a feeling, given MIT and, the smart people, I wonder if Cage might have had some kind of socio-cultural influence on this happening.
He very well could. Very well.
Go ahead,
could.
I'm sorry.
So that's all right. Anyways, the short film was produced by one William R. Short. Music by Kevin Strull.
Bill Short?
Yeah, William R. Short.
I think he's rather well known. But his professional, I think he went by Bill Short. I've heard of his name.
You've heard of it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Okay, anyways, the music is by Kevin Strull. Struhl. The interviews are done by Gene Ward. And it does say on the thing, production by, William Short. But anyways, it's a pretty neat film. It's in black and white, the way the kids carry themselves, very 70s. So, anyways, so the Baker House once again has struck again. Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, continues this annual tradition now since 2006.
Wow.
Apparently, they had been doing, the piano tossing thing. They say rather, when they felt in the mood for it. But now they've decided to designate a certain day. An annual thing now. Since 2006, to mark the last day to drop classes without, getting it on your record. So, and anyways, even their celebrity, the astronaut Catherine Coleman, she is an MIT alumna, took a piano key from one of the events and took it up into space, to wave it, give it a, her special tribute to the MIT.
Is this like, I don't know, when we lived in Yellow Springs years ago, we lived on Elm Street, right across from the Catholic Church.
Okay.
We were strict vegetarians at that time.
Uh-huh.
And every August, the Catholic Church would have a pig roast. And they'd have this huge roaster thing out on the side of the church. Across the street
from you guys. Oh.
And it'd be cooking a pig for like 3 days, or something like that. And I remember, I don't know if Robin came with me, but I was so overwhelmed by the fumes of the cooking meat. I don't know, it was just cooking meat. I'm sorry, but back in those days, it was making me almost York.
Oh,
so
really?
I called my father up and I said, Dad, can I come stay with you for a few days?
Oh, God.
He said, sure, you can come on up here. He said, what's the problem? I said, well, they're having a pig roast over here. When are they serving it?
Oh, you did? No way.
So I went up and stayed a few days, and then we came back down when they were done cooking, and Dad came down and went to the pig roast.
Oh, my. Oh,
but
my.
I just was just, why did I bring that up? Because they had that. It was a big deal for the piggy that was offered up for the sacrifice.
The sacrifice.
So is there some kind of a celebration or a thing, like a call for a special piano to get tossed off the roof?
No, they just picked out a piano. I guess they just find the piano and it'll be the sacrificial piano, I guess.
And they don't have like a service for it or anything before?
No, nothing like that. They just go. I mean, they just set the thing up there and they just go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Pull the thing, and the piano slides off the ramp and meets its doom when it gets to the bottom.
Did you ever watch the show Northern Exposure?
Never watched it.
Oh, that show was very important to me at a period in my life. But it's this really kind of wacky show.
Okay.
It's about a community in Alaska. But it's a small community, but they're all very unique individuals.
Okay.
Come bringing all kinds of world experiences from different places together. Very different people.
All right.
But the way Alaska kind of like, you're living together, all right? You're all neighbors, all right?
Oh.
One of them's a New York doctor from Columbia University who has to serve his time since the state of Alaska paid for his medical studies.
Yeah.
He has to serve time in Alaska.
Wow.
There's all different kind of people, but there's a guy, Chris, who's tall, handsome, wonderful guy. I forget the actor's name. I'll put it out in his picture. John, forget his name, but he lives in a trailer out by this beautiful lake, bathes in the lake, And a buddy of his, who's a really famous rock musician in real life, dies, and he's trying to figure out an artistic, because he's an artist as well, how to celebrate his life and features things. He builds a medieval catapult, or even a Roman era catapult, and they attach the coffin to it, and they fling the casket out into the middle of this huge lake. So then there's another episode at some point where I don't remember. He wants to kind of excite the spirit and the imagination of the community again, because everybody thought that was really quite moving and quite interesting way to go. And he finds a piano. Oh, I know what it is.
What?
Maggie's house burns down. Maggie is one of the characters in the show. Her house burns down, including her piano. It gets all burned up.
Really?
Chris shows up finally, and he says, "Can I have the piano?" And she's, well, yeah, because, it's toast.
It's toast.
And he ends up then, announcing it, and everybody comes to see Maggie's piano.
Wow.
Being flung with the catapult. Wow. And it, of course, as it hits the air and the force of it and everything, the keys are flying off the piano.
Oh, God.
Pieces of it are coming apart. And it all crashes into the lake. But, it was a very spiritually cleansing and kind of finalizing kind of that. That's okay, we can move on now. But that reminded me of that.
Oh.
So I just was wondering if there's any spiritual aspect of it. Just,
Nope.
They're
so
kids. These brainy MIT kids, no heart, no soul, just killing a piano.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it was.
Oh.
I mean, they just had fun doing it.
Do people from the Boston Conservatory go or from Harvard? People go and
watch?
Protest?
No, I wish they would, though. I mean, it kind of breaks the heart.
Well, if you watch, you got MIT up there on the roof ready to toss the piano, and all these New England Conservatory students.
Yeah.
They go, no.
Well, if you watched our introduction to our shows, you'll notice that there's an open piano in one of the scenes in our opening introduction. I can't stand the sight of the inside of looking at the guts of the piano on the floor.
Yeah.
It just makes me queasy. And so to see that happen to a poor piano being tossed off, at my age, my heart just can't handle it. So
poor Elmer.
Yeah. But anyways, that is the breaking news.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, there you have it.
Yes.
Now we shall return to our original broadcast.
Here we go. All right, well, folks, we're back. We're back. Okay.
Say.
Wonderful.
We're back. Hello.
Anyways, we're back. I guess so. That was quite a segment.
Wow.
So, anyways, well, let's just jump into it since we've used all that time for that MIT thing. But, okay. Well, let's just do it. PSI's All Pieces Considered.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. Here we are? Okay, that's long enough. Okay, well, here in my hands. I'm sure a lot of you piano teachers out there who've been to music stores, I've always been looking for something unique and interesting, to help educate our students. And one of the ways to educate our students really well, musically and with their technique and things, is to play duets with them.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and here in my hands, I have a 2-piano, 4-hands arrangement. Well, actually,
2 piano?
2 pianos, 4 hands.
So 2 different piano songs.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So apparently, this.
So these are for wealthy piano teachers that had 2 Steinways in their living room.
Yeah. So, anyways, okay. I'll just say it. It's a copy of Claire de Lune from the Suite Bergamas by Debussy, with an improvisation for 2nd piano by one Sylvia Rybanoff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes, it's very unique. Sylvia Rybanoff. Right away, you think she's Russian or of Slavic descent? No, she was born Sylvia Smith. Born October 10th, 1913 in New York City. Died on January 20th, 2001 in Florida. She was married to one Beno Robinoff. They were married in 1943, and apparently they formed a duo together, her at the piano, her husband Beno at the violin. And for a long time, they had traveled the world before they both decided to slow down and teach at the university. Get this. They met at, let me see, I think it was after one of her concerts. So this guy, Beno, they got to know each other really well. And on their first date, get this, they played all 10 of Beethoven's violin piano sonatas. Could you imagine how long that would take? On their first date.
They just played them together?
And they just played them together.
Wow,
one after the other.
Serious foreplay there, right?
Yeah, no kidding. So, but get this.
This show is not made for kids.
Yeah, definitely. That's why, well, yeah. So, her credentials is actually pretty good here. She studied piano with Paderewski.
Whoa.
Simon Barrère.
Whoa.
And Rudolf Serkin.
Yo.
Yes, she made her European debut in 1937, came back to the United States and made her town hall debut in New York in 1938.
Oh.
So the girl got around for a while.
When was she born?
She was born in the year 1913, October 10th.
She was 25. She was in her mid-20s when she did the big stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. She wasn't per se a prodigy.
I wouldn't say that.
But she just had good fortune to study with some amazing people.
Really? Yeah,
wow.
really.
Paderewski, Simon Barrère, And finally,
Rudolph
Rudolph
Serkin. Finally, yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, they had.
Which means that she went to Curtis, right? Because that's where he taught.
Perhaps.
Or it could have been up at the Marlborough thing.
It could be as well.
I'm not sure when he established that, though.
But how do you find...
But Serkin came over and taught at Curtis.
Yeah.
With who's the guy that lived forever? His colleague.
His colleague?
I had him... We talked about him recently in the show. A little bit.
Pianist, or?
Yeah. He lived to be like 104 years old or something. Oh, damn.
Vyacheslav Horshovsky?
Horshovsky, yeah.
Yeah.
They were colleagues, yeah.
Yeah.
Very different backgrounds.
Oh, very different background.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, yeah. So apparently they have quite the career. Both this husband and wife. They traveled the world, and they did eventually wind up on their 10th anniversary. They did perform all 10 Beethoven sonatas, violin, piano sonatas.
Did you say what faculty they ended up on?
They did, but I didn't write it down. They did wind up in these smaller colleges, so apparently they just wanted to take it easy, and that was, I mean, if that's what you could call it. So,
did you know anything about her husband's pedigree? She played with those guys.
The pedigree. Well, her husband, the violinist, he studied with Misha Elman.
Whoa!
Misha Elman,
big friend of Rachmaninoff's.
And Leopold Auer.
Whoa!
So yeah,
that was a hell of a team.
So
what are there recordings?
I'm sorry.
Are there any recordings?
Yeah, there are. There's plenty of recordings of them performing together. There's even some recordings of him performing concertos with Leopold Auer conducting.
Wow. So what's her name again?
Sylvia Rabinoff.
And is that the married name?
That is her married name. Her original maiden name was Sylvia Smith.
Okay. I'm gonna look it up.
I'm sure you people have seen this before. This is, I don't know who published it. Bellwin Inc. CPP. It's from Bellwin's
Bellwin.
keyboard.
Yeah, they used to be
ensemble
pretty
series.
Decent American
publishing
house.
You may have seen it. Here it is. Music looks like this a little bit. So they kept Claire de Lune piano 1 intact. The second piano, like she says, is improvised. There's no I haven't found been able to pin down a recording of this or a video recording of this anywhere. It would be nice to see what it sounds like. I mean, you can only, hear it in your head.
Did you know there's a bunch of music scores
that she did?
Edited and wrote and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The Improviser's Key Guidebook by Sylvia Rabinoff.
Yep.
15 Classical Pieces by Sylvia Rabinoff. And its arrangements of mentioned number 13 of J.S. Bach. Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Now, the only performance you'll find of any of her work on YouTube, I've discovered, was it's the first one that appeared when you type in her name, is a 2-piano 4-hand version of For Elise by Beethoven.
Huh.
And I don't know. For me, it stopped being Beethoven. Okay, that's my honest perception of how I see this work. For Elise, I mean, it sounds like Beethoven, by the piano by itself. But as soon as, there's even something like a 4-bar introduction from the piano too, before the actual piece starts. It comes off very salonish, if I could use that term. It's very, I don't know, if you can imagine those large music clocks. You know which ones I'm talking? They're like the Swiss clocks. They have these music boxes.
I went to a museum in Black Forest.
That's what it reminded me of.
That had amazing stuff.
Yeah.
like that. So she was a good looking lady.
Yeah, she was.
You see this picture?
I have seen the pictures.
Look at that.
I know.
Yowza. Benno was a lucky boy.
He'll let you take a look.
I'll put a thing up. Here's a recording on eBay.
Yeah.
Don't go buying it before I do.
Yeah. Oh gosh. But anyways, yeah, she's. They also have, in particular, if you look the couple up, one of their popular albums, so to speak, is this album where they do gypsy music. It's very popular. They did all the introduction tarantelle by Sarasate, or was it? I can't remember. Maybe I'm thinking of the other one. It is Sarasate. They even do Defia, Horta, arranged for violin, piano.
Huh.
Just countless other things. I think even the Vianovsky's in there somewhere. So, but they're fine players. One of the comments below that one of the videos is the performance goes actually faster than Heifetz. So, but it was still very well played. I think it still was. I mean, the clarity's all there, and Sylvia is at the piano, and she's very sensitive to what her husband's doing, and when he's got the front role here playing. But anyways, that's what I brought for you today. What do you think of this piece, Mark?
It's very creative.
Yes, it is.
It's interesting. It's the first part one is just standard Debussy, and then it becomes quite a colorful.
Wow.
I mean, you know what it makes me think of?
What?
Godofsky arrangements. I mean, in many cases, Godofsky can't help with his, colorful writing and all the voices and things he adds to something. And if it's performed well, you can always hear the original melody and things in there, but sometimes it depends. If it's not really just a transcription, but it's more a reworking of the whole thing, almost a new composition. Baby kind of gets lost in the bathwater sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it looked to me like, I think it would be very effective and very amusing.
Yeah,
and maybe beautiful.
Oh yeah, it could be.
But
it could be very well.
Would it enhance the pure magic of the Debussy or not, or would it become something else?
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way: Clair de Lune, right?
Yeah.
By the light of the moon or the clear moon. Maybe you think of being out here in this huge oval where we live at nighttime, maybe with your telescope, looking up at the stars and everything. It's quiet and beautiful, and you're kind of like drawn up into the heavens. This piece makes me think, instead of you out there by yourself with the telescope, somebody would have one of those magnificent digital kind of telescopes out there, and it'd be like a wine and cheese party and a whole bunch of people all over the place. That kind of, you understand what I mean? That kind of energy around it?
Yes.
That's what that arrangement looks like to me. Did you put it up, show them?
Yeah, I did. I showed a few pages, a little bit of it.
I was looking stuff up.
Okay, my impression of it, Clair de Lune comes from a suite where the textures and the lines are somewhat delicate.
It's the Bergamasque stuff,
Yeah, the
right?
Suite Bergamasque, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For me, some of the textures look. I mean, most of it's okay. Most of it's good, but as soon as you thicken the texture, it almost comes off. for me, it sounds almost like it could have been a movement from one of the Rachmaninoff suites.
Yeah.
Is what it looks like.
Well, I think,
look at the size of these chords.
If you think about all those great concert pianists.
Yeah.
And I think Godofsky is kind of like the god of all of them.
Oh.
But they all, it wasn't, if you were a pianist of any caliber in the later 19th century and early 20th century, you did your own transcriptions and arrangements of things and published them, and played them at your concerts and stuff. There's a certain, I don't mean this in a negative way, but a certain very late romantic, late 19th century swagger and arrogance about the post-Lisztian magnificence of the piano playing people could do. The achievements that these people could do at a piano.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way. In our own time, kind of Liberace-ish.
Oh, yeah.
But I think with even more virtuosic ability, and perhaps a little less showman and truly more cultured and suave in a certain European kind of way. That was the nature of piano playing and music at that time. Not to say that, there weren't, when you hear the recordings in some cases, extraordinary performances, although with historic performance practice having influenced so much in our time, maybe... Well, let's put it this way. I don't think of Rubinstein as one of those kind of... Not the same kind. Because he himself said he was not Ignaz Friedman. He was almost the antithesis of that. And wanted to play the music in a more... a little streamlined and robust kind of way. It had a gorgeous sound and everything. But, when Rubinstein recorded some of those great Mozart concerti, which I love his performances, I think they're wonderful. There's a world of difference between him and Malcolm Bilson.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
There was a grand style, a grand way of playing where the virtuosity and the attainment of what one could do. I'm going off on a philosophical bent, but it's almost a humanistic pronouncement of one's greatness over the greatness of God himself. That we became gods at the piano. We could just create all these marvels and stuff.
Creators.
And I think, given who she studied with, she studied with especially
Paderewski and Simon Barrere
and
Rudolf Serkin.
Well, Serkin's a little bit more of a classicist.
Oh, yeah, he is.
But she obviously grew up under the tutelage and the influence of
absolutely.
These remarkable giants of, one might say from but post 19th century romanticism.
Yeah. Now, if I may finish a thought,
yeah,
I would love to see the piano part in this orchestrated. Now, that's a different story. You see, the texture then, becomes less thick. This thing almost screams for strings here. Yeah. These single line counter melodies, it almost sounds more like clarinet. Perhaps, some of these extra arpeggios done in the second piano part, the second piano could be used, or even a harp, perhaps. But, yes.
Well, you're complaining.
Look at this. I would love to see this orchestrated.
Why don't you do it?
I'm almost tempted to do it. Look at that. You see, that almost screams for woodwinds right there. Yeah.
Well, what was the piece? Was it the Fauré ballad that Liszt suggested should be orchestrated?
Oh, yeah. The Fauré ballade. Yeah, the one I've been working on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he says it's much too difficult the way it's written, for solo piano. He recommended that he turn it into a concerto, which he eventually did. So, but yeah,
I wonder what that meant to Franz Liszt.
Franz Liszt?
It's much too difficult as a solo
Well, it's difficult. Well, it's a different kind of.
Okay.
It's a different kind of difficult. Yeah, okay, because he's with the likes of
Foray
transcribing
Foray is
Symphony Fantastique
in a way like Godowski, but a very different musical language.
Yeah,
is very inner voices and
absolutely
various kind of things going on.
Yeah,
And Liszt might have thought that, except in the hands of a great master, this could be just a big plate of mashed potatoes in terms of the sound.
And he was a young kid when he wrote it.
Uh-huh.
A younger kid, Opus 19.
That's when I wrote all my really stupid, crazy virtuosic stuff.
Oh well, they all did. They all did. Yeah. Like I said,
I wrote a piece called "The Lullaby" for my 19th century music class.
Yeah.
And I still have it.
You still have it?
Oh, it's a pretty wild piece, and it gets very Lisztian and Rachmaninovian as it goes on. It just goes big time.
Have you showed this to me?
I don't think so. Dr. Wynn, though, he wrote a comment on it. He said, I think he gave me an A for it. He thought it was a great piece in the 19th century tradition. But he said, I think this would wake up the baby.
This wake up the baby.
He thought maybe a lullaby was a little bit of a joke.
Yeah. Oh well. Anyways, imaginable thoughts. So, anyways, that ends that segment. That was interesting.
Okay.
That was quite interesting. Now I got another surprise here for you, but we'll have to introduce this as High Plains Thrifted.
Oh, another segment?
Yes, absolutely. We should do this. That should be enough? Okay, cool.
Boy, we're very segmented.
Oh, yeah, today. It's okay.
Like centipedes or something.
Oh, no, I wouldn't go to that extreme. Are you familiar with the name Roy Douglas?
Nope.
No? Okay. Have you ever heard of the ballet Les Sylphides?
Oh, yeah, they Sylphide, yeah.
Les Sylphides. Okay. Have you heard the music from it?
Wasn't it Chopin's music used for the ballet?
Yes, yes. Roy Douglas orchestrated it.
Oh, really?
Roy Douglas. Roy Douglas, Richard Roy Douglas, born December 12th, 1907, died March 23rd, 2015.
So, Sylphide is a 20th century composition?
Yeah, basically.
Or creation?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I thought it would have happened earlier.
Oh,
that's
my thoughts exactly.
I thought it came out of the Ruskies from the.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Nope. Came from this guy.
Wow.
Yeah, born, lived, died in England.
Oh, he's English.
Yes, he's English.
Okay, that says a lot.
His full name, Richard Roy Douglas.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. He was assistant to William Walton and Vaughan Williams.
Wow.
Ralph Vaughan Williams. As a matter of fact, it goes on here to say, let's see, not only being the orchestrator of Les Sylphides, he is also the orchestrator for Odensell's Warsaw Concerto.
Ooh.
He orchestrated the Warsaw Concerto. That's his.
I didn't know that. I could just figure Richard Odensell.
I know, that's what I just assumed too, but apparently he had his hand in almost everything
it's
out there.
Interesting. How often does that... Now, my understanding is that Liszt, when he was the... what did you call him? The big music director at Weimar.
Weimar, yeah.
What was that job called? Like, what? Bach did. What do you call that?
I don't know.
Yes, that word. We'll think of it.
Yeah.
But the big music director. He is in his 40s, I think, right?
Yeah.
He'd finished his whole career and stuff, and he got called to Weimar and did some amazing stuff for another 10 years or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Introduced some of Wagner's music when he was living in Iceland. He had to be in Switzerland because they'd arrested him in Germany. And this big orchestra. There's some amazing black and white etchings of these concerts that he gave where he's standing on this huge podium
Yeah.
with his baton like this, surrounded by this huge orchestra and chorus.
Yeah.
Who knows what they were doing at that time, but in a huge room full of people all dandied up and everything like that. Anyway, my understanding was that early on, Liszt used orchestrators and some people, and there was a relatively famous 19th century composer that he engaged to do some work for him. He's like secondary important 19th. I have to look it up and see if I can find his name. We would recognize his name.
Oh yeah, we would recognize his name.
But because he wrote his own stuff and things, but I think Liszt, because as I remember reading, I mean, Liszt was from the very beginning trained as a pianist.
Oh yeah.
And obviously put himself into it big time and expanded the whole possibility of piano playing. But he was not a conservatory trained musician.
No.
My understanding is he didn't really have traditional compositional technique kind of training like Mozart, Beethoven, Haydn, all those guys did. And he hired people. Well, George Gershwin used Freddie Grofé, right?
Well, that was not until later. The only experience that Gershwin had,
stuff.
Yeah, as far as Gershwin orchestrating, he read a book by Cecil Forsyth. It's just called Orchestration. That's the only knowledge.
Did you read that book or something? I have that book or something.
You do?
I have it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we talked about it on
we
the
did
show
talk about it a lot. We talked
it's
about it
impressive
extensively.
Book. Cecil Forsyth.
Cecil Forsyth.
And wow, I mean, if you want to put yourself to it and read a big book on compositional technique and practice and theory and all that.
Oh, yeah.
It was very impressive.
Yeah, and that was the only book he used to learn how to orchestrate.
Huh.
But, without the actual experience of actually handling an orchestra and listening to what his work sounded, it's, you get what you get from it. The Rhapsody in Blue even started out as a Paul Whiteman orchestration where it had an extra piano, some banjos, a saxophone section, and a chorus.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's how it was premiered.
Yeah.
All right. It wasn't until Freddie Grofé got a hold of it and made it much more of an orchestral showpiece, with
the one,
full orchestra.
Yeah, the one that we hear.
Yep.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Is the classical
arrangement
of the concerto that Grofé did. But but the reason I mentioned that is because with this fella writing for Adensel and stuff like that, there is an interesting tradition in music. I mean, going back God knows how far. Let's put it this way, in all the arts. Yeah. I mean, like in the great painting studios of the great masters. Da Vinci and Michelangelo and various people had students. And in many cases, the students would create the foundation of the painting, and then the master would just come in and kind of put the top surface on it.
Yeah.
Do all that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of works from the creation of human beings. This still happens in modern times, I suppose.
Yeah, of course it
Less
does.
so than I think it did a generation or so back in academia.
Yeah.
Big university professors, especially in the sciences and medicine and things like that, not usually quite so much in music research, but definitely in the sciences and things like that. The paper that ends up being presented to the journal and then read at the conference and everything by the professor, that work was achieved with the help of various graduate students and people with them. Now, if somebody really stands out, or if there's somebody exceptional for some reason, then, especially nowadays, those people will get credit.
Oh, yeah.
But, as you know, like, if I love to watch old movies. You watch old movies?
Oh, yeah, I do.
If you go back to, until when? Relatively recently. when you watch a movie now, and I'm one of those people, you are too, I believe.
Yeah.
Who, when the movie's done, the movie's not done in a way because you scroll through all
the credits
of
yes.
all the people and all the work.
Yeah.
I actually sit and read it just, out of respect. And if I see a really great film, I remember I saw before I left for Cyprus, I was with my girlfriend in Colorado.
Yeah.
And one of the last things we saw was Cold Mountain or something that.
Cold Mountain?
Civil War Confederate kind of story.
It stars that. Was it Kate Blanchett?
Yeah, I think
Kate
so.
Blanchett? I think
Beautiful
so.
film.
Oh, yeah, it is.
A really emotionally powerful film.
It won some awards there, too.
And there was a buttload of credits afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
And Marsha and I sat there and watched the whole thing roll all the way through. I kind of got to there because... But I wanted to see the whole thing because I was thinking, where did they do this and how did they do some of this stuff? Because, the people that get credited, are the director, some executive producers, and the actors.
Yeah, the cinematography, maybe photography.
You look, and especially nowadays with CGI and all that kind of stuff, the names that are listed under one category and everything, and I don't like it when they go, when they like lightning through it. I think it's very disrespectful.
I know.
But the interesting thing, when you look at old movies from like the 30s and even the 40s, the really old black and white ones, I mean, you'll see like, there's a list of a few of the actors, and then there's one page, and it's like the hairdos, the dresser,
hairstyle.
In many cases in the early ones, there is no mention of the composer, the music,
almost,
the orchestra, or I remember the Bakalinnikov. Remember, he's a big conductor in a bunch of Hollywood films. He gets listed, but. What about all those guys that played in the orchestra?
The solo violin? Or the pianist? There's some movies that don't give credit to the pianist.
Wasn't it, what's his name? Tasha Seidel, right?
Yeah, Tasha Seidel.
Tasha Seidel was one of those. Well, I mean, I got this CD of him, and he plays, my God, magnificent. I mean, he's playing works of Heifetz and Chrysler and such, and works that they played.
Yep.
And that guy is clearly from the whole, I don't know who he studied with, but like those Leopold Auer violinists. I mean, he's an amazing violinist. And he owned a Stradivarius. And he was the concertmaster in the orchestra that recorded the soundtrack for The Wizard of Oz. That's Tasha Seidel playing in that thing. And those people never got mentioned.
No,
what's that word for the extra band guys that would play on recordings and stuff? The third man or something? Or
wrecking crew.
Well, no, it's just a general term for musicians who were part of the orchestra of the band that was collected together for, concerts and things. Sideman.
Sideman.
You know a sideman?
Okay.
They call him sideman. I saw a wonderful play in Arizona, in Tucson, at a theater there. It was an actual play, stage play, and it was called Sideman. It was the story about, it was based on true life of a guy who played trumpet. And he was really good. I mean, really good. He appears in a lot of famous recordings. But he was a sideman. He never got that break to get up there, the big name stuff kind of thing. But he's featured in a lot of things and talks about his life and their lives, like they're always on the road and traveling, living out of the suitcase and these dingy hotels and all that kind of thing and everything. And so I got off on a big thing here. But we are giving credit to a lot of those musicians who belong on the iceberg, but they're like little prickly pieces of ice that people would mostly think are hanging on the bottom of it, way at the bottom under the water. So I'm trying to give them a little respect.
Absolutely.
All of those absolutely unnamed, brilliant people that trained and gave their lives to music and everything, and the best they could ever hope for was being remembered anonymously on some recordings or in things in the films and stuff like that. We didn't know who they were.
No.
But, think about it like, I'll shut up after this. I know I'm looking at it. When Bruno Walter came and settled in the United States, And NBC had created the NBC Symphony Orchestra for
Mm-hmm.
Toscanini. Well, then Bruno Walter came over, and he had been there, I think, even before. He was older than Toscanini, wasn't it? Or similar.
Similar.
But there's some great old recordings of him. He'd come over at times and conduct the New York Philharmonic. There was a Mahler Symphony No. 4 that he recorded with and stuff. But Columbia, which is CBS, right? They got together, but in California, because Bruno Walter eventually immigrated to the United States, and like a bunch of great artists, Rubinstein, Rachmaninoff and people, they bought a house in Southern California. He was Jewish. Wasn't great to be in Europe at that time. He had to leave just before the Anschluss when the Nazis rolled into Austria. And there's that wonderful recording that he left behind of the Mahler Ninth Symphony, which they did with his new recording techniques and stuff. But I mean, they were literally rolling down from Bavaria towards Austria, and he was getting all this done, and then he got on the plane and got out. And for a while he was in Paris, and then he was in London, but he made his way to the States, as a lot of people did. But they created the Columbia Symphony Orchestra for him.
Wow.
And I have some wonderful CDs. I remember the first time I ever heard it, I'll shut up pretty soon. There was this junior high choral teacher at Roosevelt School where I went. She had this library, and she let me borrow some records from the library. And one was Beethoven, a Baroque Symphony with Bruno Walter. And there was like a little 10-minute snippet on the recording of Walter rehearsing with the orchestra.
Yeah.
Now, once they got the CD technology and stuff like that, what's really important is fundamentally, now remember, Bruno Walter was working under Gustav Mahler in Hamburg, wasn't it? He was up there in the north. And he was his assistant, the conductor and all that.
Yeah.
And then Mahler died somewhat prematurely in a way.
Yeah.
And Bruno Walter gave this historically famous concert where he gave the world premieres of the 8th and the 9th Symphonies in one concert, and the Kindertotenlieder, I think, conducted by orchestra. I think it was Kindertotenlieder. Can you imagine that concert? The 8th and the 9th Symphonies in one concert. But anyway, he more or less, he was an older guy by the time he got here. He died the year that I was born, 62, and he was older than Rubinstein. I mean, he was like 1880s, something like that. Anyway, he immigrated to the States. They created the orchestra for him, and Columbia wanted to start they wanted to engage this man and this genius.
Yeah.
And he said, well, let's do Mahler. Let's set it down and let's do it with this orchestra of brilliantly able musicians, but they had not necessarily functioned as an orchestra before. They were brought together as an orchestra. And not only did Bruno Walter mold them into a cohesive, great orchestra, but he taught them Mahler. They didn't know Mahler. They hadn't played Mahler. And there's some wonderful parts in the recordings at Columbia Digital, whatever that label is, where it's the collected symphonies, but they also have excerpts from the rehearsals.
Wow.
And he's talking to them about Mahler, giving stories, or he'll sing to them. And it's what's really cool is in the Ninth Symphony, there's that Lindler. A Lindler is kind of a peasant version of a waltz. Yeah. Because a waltz, 1, 2, 3, 1. Well, and the Viennese waltz is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. But the Lindler is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And so he's teaching them the melody for the Lindler, and I think it's the second movement. Yada da da dum, bum, da 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 dum, 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 bum, bum, bum. It's a wonderful thing. But when they first play it, it's interesting because they play it how they've been practicing to get ready, and they go bum 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 dum dum dum, and he goes, no, gentlemen, no. And he says, these are peasants, all right? And he starts singing to them. And like a lot of conductors can't sing. Bum, 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 And it's funny because you wouldn't think of Bruno Walter doing this because he was always such a beautiful, suave guy when he's conducting and everything, like this. But I think it's much more enlightening to see what the conductor does behind the curtain with his orchestra, because he's singing while they're playing. And as it comes in, it starts crashing into all this wonderful Mahlerian chaos, He says, da-da-da-da-dum, bum, da-da-da-da-dum, bum, like that. And they really, and then you have the final recording that they do of it. And I think that they're very valuable historically, musically, and aesthetically, because Bruno Walter was at Mahler's knee studying this stuff and devoted to it, And plus, he knew Bruckner as well. He didn't do so much with Bruckner. But, I got way off. But
that's okay.
I apologize, but this was, okay, we're going to refer to this whole little section here about the classical sideman. The guys who did all this work for the big boys and probably didn't get enough credit for it. And this is all have to do with this Douglas fellow.
Right, Douglas,
who orchestrated, and I never knew this,
the Warsaw,
we're bringing it back.
Yeah.
The Warsaw Concerto of Richard Adams.
Yes, exactly.
I had no idea. And that was written for a movie, wasn't it?
Yes, Dangerous Moonlight. And it's not the only music they did for Adensel. There was other movies as well. Apparently there was several scores that he had to review, and he had to orchestrate for those as well.
So
now get this. This is the worst part. There was a I can't remember the name of the work now. It was a work by William Walton, and apparently it was getting ready to be published by OUP. I don't know what OUP is.
Oxford University Press.
Oh, he knows. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
Oxford
anyways,
University
and apparently William Walton says, "Here, it's ready to be published." He says, "Just review it, and I'm sure it'll be fine." And so apparently, so Roy Douglas gets a hold of the score, and a day later he says, "It's impossible. This can't be published. There's too many things wrong in it."
Ooh.
And altogether, he counted 200 mistakes.
Whoa.
And he had to confront William Walton about this work not being readily prepared to be published.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, apparently William Walton threw this big fit, huge fit. "I'm leaving."
Wow.
He says, "I want my." He says, "You can go to OUP and tell them to rip up my contract. I'm going to Boozy and Hawks." And so apparently, Roy Douglas sat down with him calmly. He says, "Let's be calm about this." And they discussed things a little bit back and forth, and he actually talked him into staying with Oxford.
Wow.
So, but still, it still remains.
This is
200 mistakes in that one score.
This is an important job because there's some people that are coming to mind.
Yeah.
When I first played Chopin Etudes, they were edited by the guy with the hair who studied with Franz Liszt.
Friedheim.
Arthur Friedheim.
Yeah.
And there used to be a word. It comes from Latin, and it was an important word, and it was used especially in more artistic relationships, and that they were men, not women.
Yep.
Amanuensis. An amanuensis is one who has the extra set of hands who helps the creative artist. Arthur Friedheim was a great assistant to Franz Liszt like that. And then I was thinking about Robert Kraft and Igor Stravinsky, right?
Robert Kraft.
There's oftentimes this, what was the guy, Don Quixote and Sancho Panza, right?
Yeah.
And the interesting story, Don Quixote is the great heroic lover and hero and everything like that. His part is necessary because he's a creative driving force that somehow has this special connection with the divine energy to do something magnificent.
Yeah.
But the person that makes it happen is Sancho Panza on the donkey, who's able to ground everything and see what's necessary and do the work behind the scenes and things to make the dream possible.
Yeah, the impossible.
And there's so many situations where that's true. I remember Because when I lived in Wisconsin, I got to know the architects at Taliesin, which was Frank Lloyd Wright's old stomping grounds outside of Madison. And I don't remember the guy's name. I'll see if I can look it up and find out. Put his name up as a testament to him.
Okay.
Wright was brilliant in terms of visualizing and coming up with these ideas, and he'd draw these things up and everything. But he relied very specifically on this one guy for the mathematics to make sure that it actually worked, or that you could turn this vision into mathematical three-dimensional construction. And there's a fellow who was a long time there at the school, and he mentioned the guy so much with a great deal of reverence, and he said, you know, we all worship and love Mr. Wright, but if it weren't for, and I'll find out his name, none of this stuff would have ever been built. So in many cases, it's interesting that there's this creative genius, but then there's this marriage of the mundane and the spiritual coming together somehow to make all this stuff work, you know. One of the people that I think is the exception to it, he was capable of doing it all, but that's why he only wrote 10 major works in his life. Richard Wagner. Wagner did it all.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't have any assistants, but it took, I mean, he was ripping skin off his body to make this stuff, you know. And he conducted it. And he taught it. Okay, I'm interrupting this poor guy like crazy.
Okay, anyways,
but it's very stimulating.
Very stimulating. Oh, absolutely.
Subject,
very good.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, who would have thought that Roy Douglas would have a hand in correcting Vaughan Williams' scores for symphonies number 6, 7, 8, 9.
Wow. You know, and it's interesting, as we said about... Well, right, with Robert Kraft and Igor Stravinsky.
Yeah.
It takes, well, an interesting thing there. One, the trust. The trust that the creative genius has to realize how crucial this other person is to making it all happen, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you think about the training that amanuensis had. You have to think about his professors and the various people that taught him all this stuff. And what's missing there? Perhaps it's not fair to say, because did Roy Douglas write anything important on his own?
Yeah.
Did he compose anything that we remember?
Roy Douglas?
Yeah, Richard Douglas.
Richard. Well, he goes by the name of Roy Douglas.
Yeah. So, but he's not known per se as a composer himself.
Not really. Not really. He is a prolific composer, however. He really is.
And like with Franz Liszt, amazing creative ideas.
Yeah.
Which he could do on the piano.
Yeah.
But when it came to orchestrating, I forgot who the guy's name is. I'll look it up. But he started to write his, what did he call those things? Those orchestrated works. They're not symphonies, are they? They're, you know, there's not like 9 of them or something. The orchestrated works of Franz Liszt from Weimar.
Oh, tone poems.
The tone poems.
Yeah.
It's very much like the second ballad that I played on the piano. So that kind of a rolling narrative kind of thing.
Yeah.
He had assistance with that.
Oh, yeah, of course he did.
Now, maybe he would have had the ability to gloss it out structurally and everything.
Yeah.
But in terms of writing it for the oboe or French horns or this and that like that, he had help.
Oh, yeah, he did help. He did have help. So anyways, Roy Douglas, did you do the math on the year he was born and the year he died?
Yeah, amazing.
He died when he was 104.
Isn't that incredible?
104 years old. Mind you, this is an individual who, as a child, acquired rheumatism, which damaged his heart.
Oh my God!
And the doctors
survived?
He survived. The doctor said that his heart was so damaged, they were really sure that he was not going to see adulthood.
Wow!
And he lived to be 104 years old.
Wow!
So that's amazing in itself. So the only known work I've known about Roy Douglas, and it's the only reason why I picked these pieces. He has a piano solo arrangement of William Walton's Ghosts and Trumpet Tune which are taken from a suite of piano duets entitled Music for Children. So, I mean, here it is. I mean, I think he was very faithful to the score. They are for solo piano, and you can kind of sense where, primo and secondo are. You could almost guess. So, it's an interesting cover. I don't remember where I acquired this score. I think it was in the clearance section over at Stanton's decades ago. I think I must have been 30 years old back then, if that. So interesting cover.
Oh,
interesting cover. It looks like a ghost with a trumpet.
cool.
So here it is. And interestingly enough, OUP, Oxford University Press. Here's what the inside looks like. So, anyways, I was interested in William Walton's music. As a child, there was this march I remember listening on the classical station, and I was drawn to it, and for the longest time, I couldn't find the title. And I would listen to the end to listen to the DJ, see if he would mention the composer of the piece, and they never did. So it wasn't until years later that I discovered it was actually Crown Imperial. Oh. And it's usually heard for orchestra, and I've heard it a couple times for organ, and I was happy to my content that I found a copy for solo piano.
Wow.
So I mean, it's very faithful to the original score. I would imagine it's very. I would imagine it's more of a piano reduction than anything. Surprisingly, it's in C major. Just like the orchestra score and the organ score. I still like the work, but here it is. Once again, OUP. If I were to perform this, I would probably change the key, maybe add a few things that are a little bit more pianistic to it. But here it is. See, Crown Imperial. You know the work, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Wow.
Yeah, he's known for other things as well.
I was going to look this
Orban Scepter, that's another work. Incidentally, he's even written a concerto for viola. He's written a concerto for viola. Apparently he was very drawn to the instrument as well. There are many recordings of it. Let me see. There's also a recording. I think he even has a violin concerto, doesn't he? Heifetz recorded it? I'm pretty sure.
William Walton?
Yeah, William Walton. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, not very many piano works, I would imagine, by William Walton. Other than that suite of music for children. So, anyways.
So can you help me here?
Oh.
I tried to look this up.
All right. What are you looking up?
I looked up an American contemporary composer at the time of William Walton. And so A.I. Ruby Banks says William Walton was not an American composer. I know that. But I'm often getting two people confused.
All right.
There's an American composer from the same period of time.
Yeah.
William Schumann.
William Schumann, yeah.
William Schumann.
Yeah.
William Schumann. He was it the very same? Yeah, about the same.
Yeah, William Schumann.
Same period of time. He was not a Sir because he was an American.
No.
But I know William Schumann's music.
Oh, yeah.
Because in fact, I did a lot of collaborative play. and I was a quick study, and I often got asked by brass professors to play for their students, jury or a recital or something. And there's music by William Schumann for it. Plus, it's really nice symphonic work of his.
I think one of the earlier band collaborative competitions commissioned a work for me.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, one of the earlier competitions.
I think
so you were thinking maybe either Ralph Bodepek or the ones after that?
I think he gets overshadowed by Samuel Barber. I think most.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Barber overshadows most everybody. But I also think of some other people tonight, like Roy Harris.
Roy Harris.
I remember like 3 70s at least. Really nice works.
Oh, absolutely.
The third one especially. And William Schumann.
Yes.
Some great stuff. There's some wonderful... Maybe we should do that as a topic.
What? American composers?
American composers before the Second World War. Or up to... American composers under the shadow, under the wolf tree of Samuel Barber.
And from there, I bring you this.
Look at you! Cool! And we're going to do it right now, everybody. Wow, look at the list.
Yes.
And this is just this book or both?
Yeah, both.
Okay, so can I say so?
Sure.
So, here's what I was looking at. And imagine some of these names. And they're alphabetical, so they're at different times. But this is some 20th century American composers here.
Yep.
Now, there's John Cage, Elliot Carter, Aaron Copland, Henry Cowell, Roy Harris, Lou Harrison, Alan Hovhaness.
Yeah.
Charles Ives is a little bit farther back.
There's a section with photographs.
Oh. Harry Parch. I know this name. Wallingford Rieger.
Yes.
Carl Ruggers. Carl Ruggles and who's the other guy?
What?
We talked about him recently.
We did?
Well, because you brought in a piece of his music. It's really dense, intense stuff. You just brought his music in just
a couple weeks ago?
American composer, but
okay.
It's not Ruggles. Not Samuel Adler either. I forget what his name is, but really dense, thick. Roger Sessions.
Roger Sessions. Oh, I didn't bring it.
Oh, there he is, right there.
In
fact, right after Carl Ruggles.
Yeah.
And Virgil Thompson.
But
they put Edgar Varese. I thought Varese was French.
Well, maybe he emigrated to the States.
Did
he? Yeah, he may have.
Virgil Thompson wrote some cool stuff. I saw 3 States in 4 acts.
Yeah.
Which was Gertrude Stein's work.
Oh, he had some choice words
that Virgil Thompson made it into an opera.
He had some choice words about Pierre Boulez.
Thompson?
Yeah, he said in his criticism, in his critique, he says the man still has to prove to me that he can read a score. But here it is, folks. So it's funny that he should bring all this stuff up.
Recently, or this is out of the
this
catacombs.
is out of the archives.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I found these at a thrift store just down the street from us.
I don't believe it.
Yes, we did. We found it.
That's where Mr. Elmer gets his stuff.
See, and it wasn't even in the book section. I actually found these in the office supplies. Office supplies. I found this in office supplies. So yeah, I remember this because I was like looking at stuff at the office supplies.
This is so cool.
And I thought, so what are these things? And I thought,
I think we should still
do
a bigger portion of a show on some of these guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Celebrate. This 250th thing that Mr. Trump and everybody's getting all excited about. Well, we should do this. We don't have to do the whole history of America because, frankly, going back to the early days, it's not so.
Oh, come on! The early days.
Let's go back. Okay, I go back to Stephen Crane, right?
Stephen Crane?
Is that his name? Who was the guy that wrote "Oh, Susanna"?
That's Stephen Foster.
Stephen Foster. There is some cool stuff.
We can go earlier than that.
I know. There's Bradley, whatever his name is, from the 18th century.
I could bring you scores by Alexander Reinigal.
Oh, Reinigal.
Remember Reinigal?
Well, he was Scottish, yeah.
Yes, he was
despite
Scottish.
The name sound German. Yeah, he was in Philadelphia. He was probably the first important. Okay, let's do it.
I know.
We can talk about. Okay, let's not do it now.
No,
we can do it. Let's do it. Let's start with Triangle and carry our ways through. I can pull out that Dover book of all the early American.
Music. Yeah.
There's some interesting. Oh, we don't want to forget Gottschalk.
Gotcha. Oh, we don't want to forget.
Contemporary of Chopin's time.
Yeah, he was a featured composer.
He was a huge successful guy for a while.
Yeah, he was probably America's first superstar.
Stephen Foster is very important for our music, and then come on, you get into the later times, and he wasn't. He was actually quite popular and made some good money. Scott Joplin.
Scott Joplin, yeah, he did.
Wrote the first black opera. Well, I don't know if it was first, but it's certainly one of the best known was Tremonisha.
Oh yeah, Tremonisha, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, but then when you get to the 20th century, America really finally delivers big time. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. I mean, come on. Some of the most lift me out of my mind. Music I've ever heard is by Elliott Carter.
Elliott Carter. Yes.
I heard Charles Rosen live play the Night Fantasies at Antioch in Yellow Springs.
Yep.
Wow. It's like a whole different sound world and everything.
Yep, it sure is.
And then more recently, because of that, what they call the Lydian Quartet, that I got so excited about a ways back.
Oh, yeah.
They did some amazing recordings of Charles Ives and things like that.
Yeah.
So we should give a part of one or two shows to exploring American composers
and their music.
And then, maybe we'll be more so when we get to the 20th century, we might even look at certain famous ensembles or artists. I think John Kirkpatrick, or the Lydian String Quartet. Bless you.
Yes.
Or the Vladimir Horowitz premiere of the Barber Sonata, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool stuff to share and talk about. That could be our.
Yes.
What year is this?
226.
So the 250th celebration. We could shoot off our fireworks and talk about
absolutely
something more meaningful than a moldy pond in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
We love Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. Take a look. This is what I found. Believe it or not, in the office supplies section in the thrift store.
Magnificent black and white pictures.
Yeah, look at these pictures. Wonderful.
Those are like. Who's that famous guy that did those wonderful black and white pictures? He did Rubenstein.
Yeah.
The guy, I can't remember his name. These are beautiful.
Yeah, they're great. And it strikes me.
What's this called?
They're called Some 20th Century American Composers, a Selective Bibliography, Volume 1, Volume 2. I would venture to say
that the editor or the writer?
I'm looking.
No, it's on the cover, isn't it? Right there.
No, in the inside cover. It says here, by John Edmonds and Gordon Bolzner, with introductory essay by Nicholas Slanimsky.
Ooh. He was the great music dictionary guy.
Oh, yeah, he is. At least one of them.
What's the title?
Some 20th Century American Composers. It's at some. It didn't say all, but some. It says here, New York, the New York Public Library, 1960.
1960.
Oh, there's even a Library of Congress catalog card number. You want it?
Not yet.
Okay.
You tell people up there if you want to. I'm looking on eBay and they don't seem to have anything. There's some interesting things that popped up, however. Wow.
Yeah, folks, this is nothing short of a miracle as far as finding these books. I don't know what would have happened to them had I not found these. I would imagine eventually they would probably find their way into senseless debris someplace. Which makes me shudder to think what would have happened to these had I not picked them up. Look at that! I only picked them up for 59 cents back then. 59 cents for each for each one.
That's something.
Yeah. So.
I'm looking it up.
Okay. It is interesting. He just started talking about American composer.
Yeah.
We should do this. American is 250th. Well, it's funny you should say that.
Wow.
Worked out perfect.
Uh-oh.
What?
Some 20th century American. What? It's not the same.
Maybe you wrote a selective bibliography.
Volumes 1 and 2, a selective bibliography.
Oh, you found it?
John Edmonds and Gordon Bolzner.
Bolzner, yeah.
Wow.
You found it?
Yeah. Here they are. It's a new it's, well, probably newer kind of thing.
Okay.
They want $26 for it. But it's both of them in a single volume.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm going to put it on my watch list.
Okay. Well, I still got mine for $1.18.
Yeah, awesome. But they have it on Amazon.
They do. Oh, cool.
Cool.
Okie
Okie dokie.
Okay. So, anyways, apart from that, I have CDs. Some of these, I'm not sure if do you remember this one? This was released by the Priceless label.
Oh,
Priceless.
Yeah.
Label.
Yep.
This is a Franz Liszt Beethoven song transcriptions.
Ooh.
Performed by Grant Johansson.
Huh?
And this is, other than the French music, this is wonderfully played. This is beautiful. I mean, this recording is wonderful. Every once in a while, Priceless label surprises me with what they release every once in a while. It's you'd be hard up to actually find these in most stores or even probably online. You could find them, but I have a recording of Grant Johansson's Chopin Polonaises. He performs. He records maybe 8, maybe 9 of them, and I don't know. They sort of sound textbookish a little bit. Okay, there was nothing. For me, there was nothing to be writing home about. And that was about it. But this, on the other hand, when I first got this, I sat down, dropped everything, and listened to it from beginning to end. It is a very remarkable CD. Very, very sensitive, very Beethoven. Strangely enough, the writer says that the most of the arrangements on here stay faithful to the original score, except for the arrangement of Adelaide.
Adelaida.
How you say?
Adelaida.
Adelaida. Boy, that's a tough one. And that one he does embellish quite a bit. As a matter of fact, if you look for the score for that work, there's at least 2 or 3 versions of it. So, and these are very well done.
I played some of these.
You've played some of those?
Yeah. The amazing thing, I was mostly, I think I did these list arrangement. Well, no, I started with Howard.
Yeah.
But I played more of them under Ellsworth, and I made a copy of a big book that he had of them. Mm-hmm. But then I saw like the original. I forget who published it, Peters or something. There are 6 piano volumes.
Yeah.
Of song transcriptions by Liszt alone. At least.
Oh yeah.
Remember, there's at least 6.
At this point, there might be more.
But I mean, you're talking between 120 and 160 compositions. Where do you find the time?
Well, yeah.
And to write this, Liszt, the boy was traveling Europe, literally London to Moscow and Sweden to Istanbul.
Yep.
In carriages, horse-drawn carriages, for 10 years.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how exhausting that would be?
Yeah.
They didn't have railroads yet.
No.
Carriages.
Yep.
When Mozart traveled, when he and his dad went on the European tour. And then he's the music director at the in Weimar for almost 10 years or something like that. But Liszt has one of the more significant catalogs of compositions. When you go into the Groves Dictionary, when they finally decide to give him the deserved respect and the space he got, in the 1930s, Groves Dictionary was famous for about a paragraph like this, that says this useless, charlatan.
Has no staying
That
power.
was Liszt. Now Liszt is one of those that can make a book out of it.
Yeah.
Like those Groves Dictionary booklets.
Absolutely.
Because when you get to the works section, it just goes on page after page after page after page. All the categories and things that he wrote in. I mean, there's probably nobody that has one nearly as long as Bach does.
Yeah.
But the Humphrey Searle catalog, and then there's 2 or 3 different catalogs the way they've got his stuff listed. I think Groves even came up with their own catalog, cataloging of his works.
Yeah.
But just in terms of piano track, because it's gajillions of ones of Schubert.
Oh, yeah.
And it was interesting, when I went to the Liszt Museum in Bayreuth, which was his last house, they had some programs under glass on a wall and on a stand. And they were showing that many of his concerts, if not all the time, he finished with 2 or 3 Schubert transcriptions because people loved the songs. And apparently they become popular enough, or he helped to popularize them, that where they may never have actually heard the song, they heard Franz Liszt play it and loved it so much.
Yeah.
So he did write them and use them, but still, I mean, you have to have that composer gene in you, right?
Absolutely.
To churn this stuff out.
Oh, absolutely.
And I mean, of that kind of a caliber.
Oh, yeah.
It's not in me. I composed under duress. Because I had to, or once in a while when I was inspired to do something, but it was more like birthing a baby. I don't know.
Oh, gosh, yeah, it is. It is.
But
very much so.
To just have this stuff just roll out,
Yeah.
Very good. And I agree with you about Grant Johannesson. He was, my impression of him and people who I knew had worked with him, he was the one who started Cincinnati, right?
Yeah,
so we knew him from here.
Oh, yeah.
He was a locally known guy, basically.
Yeah.
Very polished, very European, suave kind of guy.
Oh, yeah.
And I think there's something about his character that made him so popular as a French interpreter. He recorded a lot of stuff in French. He lived there and recorded that stuff.
Yeah, I'm using his edition of the Foray.
You said that Chopin was a little...
Yeah, it was just...
because I think, in a way, is this not fair to say?
Yeah.
Off the top of your head, can you think of any great French interpreters of Chopin's music?
Honestly, Alfred Cortot.
Yeah, but he's more known for Schumann and...
Yeah, but his Chopin is well done. Have you listened to his Chopin etudes?
You're right.
Listen to the uniqueness of that.
But I'm thinking in terms of how we think of Chopin.
Yeah.
Friedman.
Okay.
Rubinstein.
All right.
Russians.
Yeah.
What I'm referring to is the kind of that original French school, the kind of meticulous, clean nature, almost effortless kind of playing that they were famous for, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's fair, because I have these Eve Knott recordings of almost, he died before he could finish it, but the Beethoven sonatas. I mean, there's always the exceptions to the rule, but I just always think of Grant Johannesson and Fauré.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. And Fauré's music rarely attains that kind of Germanic, hyperbolic, romantic kind of character, right?
Yeah.
It's not. It's not. That's not the way. I agree with you, Cortot, but Cortot's Chopin is more poetic than heroic.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
What I think of is
Perhaps
the nocturnes that he played, and there's a sonata, isn't there?
Oh yeah, there's sonatas as well, and the preludes.
But is he known as a Polonaise player?
Is he known as a Polonaise? Not necessarily.
Cortot?
So no, not really.
Yeah. So we're nitpicking here a little bit.
Yeah.
I think
everything else.
But it makes sense to me that, I mean, the French could play classical period music quite well, I think, right?
Yeah.
By the way that they're trained and stuff. One might expect that. And then with these, and then Liszt is a whole different guy than Chopin. Right?
Oh yeah, different. Yeah.
Is it fair somehow to say that the romantic, whatever that means, quality in Chopin is not the same as what you get in Liszt?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I would never play Chopin, and I'm not saying. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
But I was going to say I never would play Chopin or approach Chopin.
Yeah.
The way that I would approach Liszt.
Liszt, exactly. Yeah. But in some sense, some of Liszt can be approached the same way you would Chopin.
Yeah.
You know, on the because he was influenced.
There is
in
something.
some manner or form.
There is something truly then unique about Chopin, isn't there?
Oh yeah.
I mean, compared to everybody else.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He is. You know, I would venture to say, he was the final break between classicism and romantic, which was started by Beethoven, likes of Beethoven, Weber, Schubert. Because where are you going to find things like the way he did, say, the A minor prelude?
You know, you think about Chopin's training.
He took it to the next.
Which was relatively conservative. And then you read stories about him, like he never taught anything beyond, was it Opus 53 of Beethoven? The Waldstein, right? I didn't even approach the Passionata and none of the late stuff.
Yeah.
Never played it, apparently, never taught it.
Yeah.
While Schumann, hats off, gentleman, a genius,
Yes,
you know.
yeah.
The compliment was not returned from Chopin to Schumann. Not a big fan of his music.
Yeah.
And with Liszt, Chopin always, when they played four-hand piano at the soirees, Chopin always wanted to play second on the bottom. He wanted to play the secondo part because he said if Liszt was down there, he would drown
be able to hear him.
out.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? With the Schumann comment, I've often wondered about that comment when he said, "Hats off, gentlemen, a genius." I've always wondered about that. Did he say it as Florestan, or did he say it as Eusebius? That's what I want. Which side of him was actually saying that? You know, because you know what I mean.
There's, you know, when I think about, you know, it's interesting. Chopin remains Chopin.
Yeah.
And I've heard piano pieces like Heifetz famously took a few things and had them transcribed for violin and played them. And, you know, they're nice for what they are. The Raindrop Prelude, you know, some certain things like that. And then there's Les Sylphides.
Les Sylphides, yeah.
But
there's even Paderewski's, cello, where it said he arranged from Chopin, like the Prelude B minor.
oh, really? That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
So.
I'm just thinking out loud. It might be totally stupid, but Chopin to me is like the antithesis of Bach. Bach is extraordinarily. Bach remains Bach no matter what you do to it.
Yeah.
I mean, those Swingle Singer performances, are switched on Bach, the original electrical stuff.
Yes.
It's always Bach, right?
It's always Bach, yeah.
Chopin is only Chopin on the piano, I'm going to say, more or less. Chopin is somehow so intricately connected with the piano and the way that one plays the piano musically. That, because maybe why didn't he like Beethoven? Because one of the things we talked about, Beethoven is often in his early work, and at various times, Beethoven is writing almost for string quartet.
Yeah, he is. But
Mozart is often writing for orchestra on the keyboard.
Yeah.
String quartet was a very fascinating subject for Beethoven, and you can see it in his music, especially when you get to the dance stuff like that. Maybe the scherzi, in fact. Yeah. But before that, the minuets, right? Yeah. You can hear that, like the very first sonata.
But you know what? Even though he didn't really warm up, you say he didn't warm up to Beethoven, but I venture to say things like his first scherzo, or even William Capell mentions that the coda to the first ballade, that's Appassionata.
It's a G minor.
Yeah. He says that's Appassionata.
There's something, one of the things is interesting that Chopin he taught.
Yeah.
And apparently played a lot on his own was the well-tempered clavier.
Oh, yeah, he did.
J.S. Bach.
Oh, yeah.
He was very well schooled in that stuff. And I think, and wasn't his set of preludes probably influenced?
Oh, yeah.
By the well-tempered clavier, right?
I'm sure it was.
He
did, interestingly enough, the first prelude in that whole Opus 28 set was actually the last one he wrote. Did you know that? I didn't know that. But it was the last one. And you can kind of sense why he did it that way. He said it was, if you listen, it has sort of a sense of relief. A sense of relief.
Yeah.
That I'm done.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, I can imagine how it could be a little hard to write the first chapter.
Yeah.
It's maybe easier to get rolling with things and then figure, because you figure, is there anything more Bach than the C major prelude from the well-tempered clavier? Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
It's so simple and lovely and perfect and memorable.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody who doesn't even know classical music.
Look at the right hand figuration, the first eight two.
Exactly.
Exact same notes. See.
I never thought about that, but as he goes through with the great D minor at the end, or what is it?
Yeah.
The last one.
Yeah.
Some of those ones near the end. It's almost, the preludes are a little bit almost like Ravel's Bolero or something. It's a big crescendo through the whole thing. And yet the first one begins kind of, heroically, proudly. Well, am I saying some good things?
We're musing.
We're musing, right?
Okay, we're musing.
Well, we were talking about Johannes, and then
yes, we were.
His Beethoven, so good for him. What else you got?
What else I got? Okay. All right, here's a couple. Have you heard of Very and Jamanis? Here, it's a piano duo. We don't talk about very many piano duos, but I brought one today. It's a recording. Francis Very, Veri, born in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, entered Juilliard at the age of 16. 16 years old. And her soon-to-be husband, she met him there in Juilliard, Michael Jamanis, who was born in Concord, New Hampshire. He actually entered college as a pre-med. Then at the age of 21, changed his mind, auditioned for Juilliard, and got in. And that's where they met. They became the item of the school, much talked about. When they decided to form a duo together, they eventually wound up studying with the most famous married duo, Robert and Gabi Casassus. Yes.
They taught at Juilliard?
No, they did. They had to go
went
to France for that. They had to go to France for that. And lo and behold, as luck would have it, they were introduced to Nadia Boulanger, who also coached them.
Wow.
So they had the best of worlds.
So this is pretty good.
Oh, it's excellent. It's excellent. These guys. Here, let me show you. Once again, priceless label. Okay?
Yeah.
These guys never cease to surprise me. Every time I find a copy, their label on a CD, I have to venture to get it.
So this is real iceberg kind of stuff we're talking about here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and
these guys definitely got a place on it, and they should hold it.
Oh, yeah. And
who knows them? I mean, I didn't ever hear of them.
Now, if you're looking for flash special effects, it's not this.
No,
it's
good.
Definitely not this.
Really
Here
solid
you're listening to a couple who are just happy with their lives and just enjoy playing together.
Wow.
That's what you get, and you can hear it, because it's nothing big. They know when to bring in a line, an extra line that comes in, a repeated theme, and it's just splashy fun. Basically, these guys, they lovingly listen to each other, and they just play around.
Is this a dying art form?
The duo?
Two piano kind of things like
Two
this.
pianos?
And stuff.
Boy, that is a good question.
I mean, in terms of professional touring and all that, I mean, there's the Lebec sisters.
There's Lebec, but that's a while
They're
back.
getting up there.
Yeah, I know.
And then there's the two Bunyadas.
Yeah.
But they don't really perform together.
They don't. Yeah.
There's some videos of them
Yeah.
here and there, but
there's the Sartori brothers.
Did you remember the old days? It was like a big.
But that's a while
remember
back.
Ferrante and Teicher?
Yeah.
They were huge touring.
Oh yeah, yeah. They were very huge. They actually started off as a classical duo. They actually started that way. Harold C. Schoenberg, well, you know what happened there, and so that's why they switched to just doing pop music and
then that cookbook that I have is Robert Gold
Fitzdale.
Gold and Fitzdale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fitzdale. Yeah. But that's
well,
decades
and who was
ago.
the team that taught at the Cleveland Institute? There was a husband and wife up there. They were both Sonia. There's a team, a husband and wife that taught for years on the faculty at Cleveland Institute. I'll look them up.
Yeah, look them up. I don't know
Because they were
that.
quite well known. Well, I mean, come on. In this country, it goes back to Joseph and Rosina.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the famous recordings they did of the Debussy and stuff like that. Those are historically and musically treasured performances.
Oh yeah,
they did together.
absolutely.
But is that? I mean, I haven't seen that many joint piano concerts, like piano duo, piano, four hands or two piano stuff. I have done things like that occasionally. Myself worked with a colleague or something. But can you make a living traveling and doing that anymore?
It depends on what you're playing. I would imagine. I'll tell you.
Is it because people aren't playing the piano as much themselves? Because that was a very fun way to make music in the past.
It was a very fun.
That's why these guys wrote all this four-hand stuff.
Well, I'll tell you what. Out of all the performances I've ever done, the biggest ovation I've ever gotten was playing my two piano arrangements. And I shouldn't. I'll tell you a little secret here. Most of the effects I put on those two pianos are not really original. I borrowed a lot from Shostakovich and Stravinsky, and of course, Ferrante and Teicher. There's even some Liberaceisms in
We're
it
talking
as
about
well.
all those sidemen guys that did all this work all the years.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, there's a whole volume of Bach solo keyboard concerti.
Yeah.
Actually, none of them are original works by Johann Sebastian Bach.
Yeah.
They're all a bunch of Italian guys, right?
Yeah,
Vivaldi and what's that one?
Marcello.
And all the yeah.
Yeah.
So this is you're talking about a grand tradition.
Yeah.
You know,
So
borrow from the masters and
basically, I just put in, whatever I listened to, I just made it bigger. Okay, so you have trills like this. You can trill like this, right? In octaves. I trill with the lower note here and the upper neighbor here.
Octave
And
trills.
the effect, even visually, is amazing. The audiences eat that up. This way, you see somebody going like this from the side view. It's for them, it's a thrill. It's a thrill to watch. Liberace used to do this thing where he goes out, right? I did it in octaves, okay, which is even a bigger effect, okay. Believe it or not, yes, it is. It works out really well. It was kind of neat to see it. It was kind of neat to see that in Alexander Peskanov, the introductory book to his Russian technical regime exercise books, he shows you that little trick that he uses as an octave exercise at the end of the introductory book, where it's the same thing. Okay, except he doesn't do it in similar motion. He does it in contrary motion, and eventually brings the hands together, and it comes, in a single note at the bottom. So there are oodles and oodles of little tricks here and there that you could use to make something sound much more brilliant than it is. Lots of them. And I pinned them down as best as I could in the 4 piano arrangement. How many pieces do I have to write? I'm thinking maybe 5 or 6 2 piano arrangements I've composed, arranged, whatever you have it. And and like I said, every time I've came out with a number 2 piano person, and I haven't done it in years. Have not done it in years. Maybe perhaps this may be the year. Okay, maybe the year. And the ovation was bigger and more exciting than I could ever hope to. I mean, they practically raised the roof off over at Graves. It was it was the biggest ovation I've ever had. When they found out that year, there was one year where they had the Gershwin piano doing the tour of the States, and it was called the Gershwin Rhapsody in Blue piano, and it was blue, and they had little shiny stars all over it, and the music stand on it was in the shape of the New York skyline, and Graves called me up to see if I would do a recital on it, and I did. I played Rhapsody. Of course, they expected Rhapsody in Blue on the thing, so I played Rhapsody in Blue. And then at the end, I played this. What was it? I guess since he was American, I played. My partner and I got together and we did my 2 piano arrangement of basically the American medley of patriotic tunes, and it went off very well. There's splashes of corn gold in it, and it closes like Shostakovich. So, number 5. So, anyways, I have more stuff in here, but we could save it for another time. This is
we'll move on.
nearly 2 hours almost.
Yeah.
So,
Will we have a good time?
oh, I had a wonderful time.
Yeah, this
It
is
was
interesting
great.
stuff, buddy.
Oh yeah, we had some great time.
He
Lots
brings
of-
in things which inspires me to jabber.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. Otherwise, we'd be having bouts of silence here trying to figure out what we're going to say. Maybe next time I'll do better in my script, but it was a good show. I enjoyed it immensely today. It was wonderful. So, anyways, if you enjoyed our show today, folks, our jibber jabbering here and our laughter, hopefully we'll have a lot more laughs in the future. Come back, comment, like, subscribe, visit us on Facebook, tell your friends and neighbors. You know, you've been a wonderful audience. We love our viewers. Come back again and visit us, okay? This is
Dr. Mark.
I'm Elmer, and we are
Marc and Elmer's PSI Piano Scene Investigations.
See you again.
See you, everybody.